Members of the Gippsland Tobacco and Healthy Lifestyle team met in 2017 to work through the details of a new smoking cessation training package for their local communities. 4 of them, however, were still smokers themselves. It was an issue that they could no longer ignore, the elephant in the room. After some discussion, the group agreed to open up, to invite others to follow their personal quitting journeys, all captured on camera. Their journey continues.
The elephant in the room for us is that 4 of us tobacco action workers on a team of 6 are actual smokers ourselves.
Yeah.
And we have tried our quit journey before, and as you know, as a quit specialist, we've relapsed and lapsed and started again and relapsed again.
Okay, so it's been 4 months since we caught up with you guys about your attempt at quitting smoking. So how's everything been? How's everything been with you, Karen?
I went really, really well for about 4 weeks, and I'd get in the morning and I wouldn't have a smoke at all. Just kept changing what I was doing. I was like going for a shower first, grab my coffee, so that deterred it. Then it was like, okay, now I'm running late. So it was really good, but I crashed every afternoon. I just slid.
The afternoon kind
The afternoon, yeah. Once a day was finished, I got to have one through the day while I was at work. But then I'd feel guilty, but then of the night time, I'd get home, I'd be like so exhausted, and then I'd go, I've got to have another one. But each morning I kept getting up and doing the same thing and trying to not have them other ones. Yeah, I think the only problem was I was beating myself up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Okay.
Like carrying that guilt of, oh, you've slipped again, yeah. So that was really hard to handle.
Yeah, so it's always good to realise that your slip-ups aren't mistakes. You were able to delay those morning cigarettes a lot more. And as you're saying, in the mornings that you felt like you were running a bit late, changing your routine up takes a bit of time to get used to and adjust to that new routine of, okay, I'm going to get up and have a shower. I'm going to have a coffee in the morning before I start having thinking about having a cigarette when you normally would. So after time, you'll start realizing that you'll start waking up earlier because you'll start feeling much more proud of how you're going with it. Not waking up in the morning thinking I need a cigarette, especially when you're saying you're beating yourself up as well. It's always good to realize that I've slipped up, but if I get on the bandwagon and I keep just pushing that through, I'm going to make that new attempt again to cut down. I'm going to cut down on 2 cigarettes this time. I'm not going to have those 2 cigarettes in the evening,
Yeah.
But if you've slipped up, it's always a good notion to realize that I've done an achievement in the morning, and I've achieved my goals in the morning and around at lunchtime and around into the afternoon. So I've done well. If you've had that slip up, it's like, okay, I've done it, but look how many I've already cut back on previously.
Yeah, so and that's what I was holding on to, the fact that I'd done so well. We went to training, and I got in the morning and I changed my routine before I had the shower, before I even had a coffee. Went downstairs, had breakfast, and it was like, oh, I haven't got time to go for smoke. So I had to push it away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was holding on to the really good things that were making me not have a smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the best thing. It's always remembering the positive things that you've done, because when you start thinking of the negatives and you start feeling bad about yourself that you've kind of, oh crap, like I've had a cigarette, it's always remember, oh wow, I did cut that morning cigarette out before because I didn't have the time to, where beforehand I would have been like,
I'd sit out there for 10 minutes,
even
15 minutes.
Yeah, it'd have been like, I'm late, so I might as well just have a smoke because I'm already late. You were able to correct yourself and have that new mentality of, I'm going to do this now. I'm not going to have a smoke because I am late, so I don't need it. And now, you know, beating yourself up, it's a way of, your mind is trying to go back into that old habit.
Yeah.
So you just need to keep pushing forward and keep going into that direction of, I've done this so far, I've accomplished this. Yes, I've had a smoke, but I can get back and doing my progress throughout the day. And what about you?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. So in the last 4 months, I was going good at probably for about a month. I was slowly but surely kind of delaying in the mornings. I'm really good at delaying my first cigarette in the mornings. I'm probably, I don't know, a good half an hour to 45 minutes now in delaying. Yeah, I was going good for about a month, and then I had 4 deaths in 1 month. So one death 1 week, one death 1 week, one death 1 week. Immediate family members shook me to the core, kind of thing. The whole family, as you can imagine. So that kind of, my plan went out the window because I wasn't really focused on it. I was too focused on grieving and dealing and helping family through blah 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 plus myself. Come back from that, busy workload kind of thing. So my plan's kind of a little bit out the window. I've still got my deadline, which is February.
Yeah.
But it's just getting to that deadline and making sure I'm at the point of quit by the time I get to February.
Yeah.
The mornings and that are fine with me. The days at work are fine. I kind of limit my smokes at work because we don't get too much opportunities to go out and, you know, fully smoke.
Yeah.
It's usually the afternoons when I'm home in the social situation.
Mm-hmm.
I find I tend to smoke a lot more cigarettes. So the cigarettes that and it's kind of similar to what Karen was saying, all the good work I've done during the day, I kind of undo it in the night time.
Yeah.
And then I do feel a little
Feel
bit
that guilt and
yeah,
that stuff. Do you find that in the afternoon you're smoking the same amount that you would during the day? In the afternoon, you just feel like you're making that up during the whole day?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get it right in the head.
Yeah.
So if I let's just say that my limit of the day is 15 smokes per day, and I only smoke 2 or 3 at work, I'll make sure I finish them 15 off before I go to bed that night.
Oh, okay.
Not purposely, but it just happens that way.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping is we're about to start the Christmas break in a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm away from work, I'm away from my job, I don't need to think, I can just kind of sit in the bush, because I'm camping, and just sit in the bush and give myself time to refocus and recollect everything and back on the path and create another plan again.
That's it, and that's good. It gives you that option. You move yourself away from those stressful areas and those stressful situations that you can actually make that certain plan. So especially with the Christmas period coming up, is what we like to say is, you know, get yourself out of that social situation of hanging with friends and family that do smoke on a regular basis. It's not saying avoid them, don't go around them, don't go and hang with them, but it's just limit your interactions with them. If they're smoking, there's always an option. There's always an opportunity that there's another family member or a friend that's not smoking, to remove yourself from one part to moving into the next. Just to help you get that over that hump of just starting your progress again. Because you were doing so well during the day. It's just that afternoon, and that it was more of the stress of de-stressing. Of getting yourself back into the zone of okay, this is me now. Now I can do what I have to do. Especially at night time, if you're wanting to start cutting down again, it's limiting the smokes you have in your packet. Especially if you're having it at night and you say, okay, normally I have 15. Maybe let me cut that down every couple of days to like, okay, I'll only have this much cigarettes in my packet, and maybe I'll leave the cigarettes at work. So when I go home, I only have a limited amount of cigarettes that I have at home to smoke. So then you kind of prioritize. You start sitting there and you think, okay, I've got, it's like 5 or 6, 5 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to have dinner soon. Okay, I'm going to have 1 cigarette. Then you kind of just start using, as we've spoken before about the 4 Ds, of starting to delay, do something else, start to distract yourself, grab some water, drinking, and start drinking some water. But just trying to start using that 4 Ds method when you're at home. So if you would say in an hour of a cigarette, you'd have maybe 4 cigarettes an hour. You know, between that, from that afternoon you get home till you go to bed, it's always trying to delay at least 1 or 2 of those cigarettes. So when you look at it, it's like you're not feeling down on yourself, but you're like, oh wow, in an hour I would have had maybe 4 cigarettes. I've only had 2.
That's exactly right, because what my partner and myself were talking about last night is maybe because like I said at the start of this conversation, is I'm still sticking to the February date of being quit, but we were talking last night that maybe to combat what I'm doing after work is sometimes I am having 4 cigarettes within an hour, you know, some days. is to limit myself to 1 cigarette per hour,
Yeah.
and then there is only 4 or 5 hours until bedtime. You know what I mean? From the time I get
And I
home.
suppose
So
if you're down to getting one, like you're having one ciggy left going, oh wow, it's like 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
so I've only got one left,
Yeah.
like, oh gee, you know what I mean? Like, or having 2 left maybe and going, oh, I've only got 2 left,
Yeah.
like, I've really got to stretch that out.
I like the idea of what you said about leaving them in the drawer at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't come get them.
That's
I
it.
can't-
You know, you've got that option of like, you know, gives you that barrier of like, I can't go and pick them up. It's not like, oh, I can go to the cupboard and just grab that packet out of the cupboard that I've put in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you make that, or if you don't feel comfortable with leaving them at work, leave them in your car, in the boot, in a box. That's, you know, if you've got to go, you've got to go out to the car, open that box, grab those out, but just grabbing a single cigarette out, putting that back in there. After a while, it's just becoming a nuisance.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to go out to my car again, I've got to pick the cigarettes out, then put it back in, close the car up, and then go inside and sit down and have a cigarette. But also another option is as well is, you know, is having half a cigarette. It's like, it's the way I see it is, you imagine somebody that's losing weight that has a plate of food, they will normally eat half of their plate, then walk away from that meal for 20 minutes and then come back and see how they feel about having the rest of that meal. 3/4 of the time, they don't want that meal because they're full and they're content, because their eyes and their brain think, I'm hungry, but their stomach is content.
Yeah.
And that's the same way with smoking. If you're going with smoking, you kind of have half your cigarette, put it out, go away and start using the 4Ds method again and start distracting yourself. Do something else at home, do a bit of reading or something you're interested in. And then if you feel like you want to come back for another cigarette after that time frame, of maybe in an hour, you come back and have that half a cigarette instead of lighting a new cigarette up.
Yeah.
You know, but if you do have that mentality of I need a full cigarette or I need to light up, you still light that cigarette, that you can light a full one up, but then when you look at it, you put that half out again.
Yeah.
You've wasted half a cigarette
Yeah.
because you don't want that half again because it looks yucky, it's sitting in the ashtray, it's not appealing.
There's a lot of times now that I am actually doing half, if not sometimes 3/4, because after work, like I said, because I am smoking so much after work that I don't get through the full one anyway because I'm like, oh, it's dehydrating me, or you know, just I overloaded myself with a cigarette kind of thing.
And think of that as an accomplishment too, that my body doesn't need this. And look at it, I'm not smoking the full one, so I'm not getting that full hit of nicotine through a full cigarette, I'm getting a portion of it. So every time you're putting out a smoke that's not fully finished, just think of it like, wow, I'm cutting it out, I'm cutting down each time, and that's what you're doing, you're still cutting yourself down.
It's funny you say that because I don't think like that. When I put it out halfway or something like that, I think, what a waste.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that horrible?
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing to think. Like, it's a good thing to actually waste it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and throw it away halfway.
So yeah, doing something like that will actually help, you know, in your afternoons and stuff to give you that ability to take less, so it's less smokes that ultimately gives you that less nicotine, that also means will stop the cravings from starting to come in.
Yep.
You know, so what I like to say is the less cigarettes you're taking, the less your cravings are going to, you know, start coming by. Like I say is like, imagine yourself as a car and your cigarette is the petrol. The car isn't going to start without petrol in it.
Yeah.
It's the same as your cravings aren't going to, you know, your cravings aren't going to stay with you and they're not going to be in your system, and then you're not going to start having cravings of that intensity for a cigarette if you stop feeding it or you slowly start cutting them out.
Yeah.
So think of it like that as well. So
I'm going to use the time while camping too because I'm in the bush and by myself, just me and my partner.
Yeah.
You know, just in a tent on a campfire.
And that's a good detox as well for you.
At a beach kind of thing, so it's a good detox way. No stress around me. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that situation too.
And make sure you set little goals and little strategies for yourself throughout the holidays, just in case you come up and you find these certain situations like, how do I deal with stress with my partner because I'm craving the nicotine and we're not in a place where we can have our space because we're out in the bush, or what can I do if I'm getting a craving and I'm in the middle of, like, you know, I'm on the river or I'm out in the bush, I'm hiking or something, and I don't have those, you know, certain, you know, I don't have my quit book with me, I don't have my water bottle really handy, I don't have my phone with the games and stuff that I can use that I usually use to distract myself with. You need to just try and find little strategies and little things that, you know, I'm going to the bush, what can I do in the bush that will help me with that?
Yeah, so the only stress I see at the camp is other family members and friends that I haven't seen for a while because we all congregate
yeah.
at Mystery, during Christmas. So all the families from everywhere, all over the place,
And that's
come together once a year, and that's going to be a different kind of stress there in the sense of the social side of things.
Yeah. And it's always good. I always say, just let them know I'm quitting. So if you do have family members that are smoking, just be able to remove yourself from that circle just for that time being that they're having a smoke, and just let them know, no, I'm quitting. I'm just going to stand over this side just for a minute until you finish smoking. That's fine. Keep going, and then I'll come back and sit down. And going away and doing something like maybe cleaning up around, sitting around with someone else that's not smoking, having something to eat, something to drink. That will really help. With that social situation as well. So then you're not tempted too much. The more you draw yourself away from it, the more your ability and the more you're able to really just not smoke around everyone.
And Friday when I do start my holidays is a 4-hour drive to get to the campground, so don't smoke because I bought a new car, so I don't smoke in the car. And so that's going to set me up on a good start there to
that's it. And
go 4 hours without a cigarette, and then I can try to continue that through.
So you're going to try and go the cold turkey route, or like just not smoke completely at all, or just at least try and cut yourself down?
Going to slow down and cut down.
Okay. Even just like we were saying, is having the cigarettes in the boot in the car so they're not accessible while you're travelling. That would actually help. So that if you've got to pull over, take time out, pull over, sit down, have a cigarette, then get in the car and put the cigarettes in the boot again. Trying to just make sure you're doing that kind of stuff. That will help you, because when we all travel, we don't want to be hot up on the side of a road, especially around Christmas time. It's hot. She's saying like you've got it down packed, so you really, you've got your goal that you've set, and you're still working towards that. So just keep going, and it'll work.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So how about you, Chantal?
Well, I've been doing pretty good, extremely good, I think. But then I kind of went downhill, probably last month, But it was only half a cigarette. I still think that's good. I just don't like the fact of having to smoke a half full cigarette, and it makes me sick. So I had to get that real yucky taste.
You're starting to see the difference in taste.
That's compared to smoking half a cigarette now, compared to when I was smoking a full cigarette. You could tell the difference.
Awesome. So what happened in that moment that you kind of went? You were saying you went really well, to you felt like it wasn't going so great.
Stress. Just life, everyday life. Just happened.
And how many were you on previously? When you were cutting down and you got great?
Probably smoking maybe 1 or 2 a day, maybe.
And what did you go back to?
One.
About 1 a day?
Just the one. Just the one.
Okay. And when are you finding you're having that particular one?
In the afternoon, in the late afternoon,
Kind of after work kind of thing?
While I'm at work.
While you're at work?
Because I get phone calls while I'm at work regarding after hour business and nothing to do with work, so that's what kind of brings it on. Apart from that, I'm soldiering on. So I did say I was going to be smoke-free by Christmas, and I feel that I've been doing really good. We went out on the weekend last week for a cousin's 30th, and everybody was drinking, everyone was drunk, smokes was here and everywhere, and we went out to the smoking room, we recorded it, didn't have a smoke, so it was good.
A lot at the moment. It sounds more of the habit. It's you're so used to having that afternoon cigarette. It's that now you just want to change up that afternoon routine of what can I do in the afternoons when I'm getting these stressful phone calls, or I'm having a bit of a stressful day at work. What can I do in that 2 or 3 hour period that I can eliminate that cigarette? Can I go for a 20-minute walk at work, or can I get the calls diverted until I finish work, or let them know if you need something, text me. Because now you just want to start changing that 1 cigarette a day that you're having. You're noticing the changes in the taste. You're noticing that you don't need any other cigarettes in any other social situation. So it's more of just the habit of just changing it.
Changing that,
a lot of the time it's hard for people to change old routines of cigarettes because they become dependent on that cigarette. So it's more sounding like it's the habit, you know, and just the routine of everyday life that you were just tackling that one cigarette, because you've been able to tackle all your other cigarettes that you normally mainly had during the day. So now it's just this one particular one.
Yeah.
So are there things that you feel that you could do, especially with the Christmas holidays coming up? You're not going to be working, you're going to be, you know, at home more and stuff, so you won't have a lot of that stress from dealing with outside work at work.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you can actually deal with that head on at home.
Yes.
So what are things that you could find to do?
I have been controlling my weight.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to lose weight, so that's one of the main big things that have kind of take their mind off the smoking.
Yeah.
But then I have days where I miss going to the gym or whatever, and I fall back on that. So I'm like, I need to smoke. I'm stressed out because I missed this, and
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. And just realise that a lot of times if you slip up, just think back to the progress that you've made
Yeah.
previously. Think of the hard work that you've already done.
Yeah.
That you realise now that's like, why should I give that up? If you've missed a day of the gym, it's like, okay, that's cool. Maybe my body needed that rest.
Yeah.
Maybe my mind is telling my body you need to rest for that day. That's not you shouldn't feel like it's an indication of, okay, I should stress out. I should, you know, get upset about it. Always make sure you come back to the notion of, I'm quitting, I've done this is my goal, this is what I've set for myself, and this is where I've come so far. So make sure all the time that when you start feeling stressed out, it's like, okay, where have I come from, where am I now, and what can I do to succeed, you know, through this stress.
Yep.
And I just think that at the moment, with you doing such a good progress, just keep rewarding yourself and giving yourself positive feedback, give yourself positive reminders of what I've been doing to successfully quit.
Yeah.
And you're on one smoke a day, and
it's not even a full smoke, it's only a half smoke. Yeah.
And that's good, you know, you just want to now, what can we do to change up? Can we, you know, if we're feeling like I'm stressed and I want this cigarette.
Yeah.
Okay, if I want this cigarette, I have to go to the gym. If I have to go to the gym and I have to do this workout for this particular time, and then I have to come home and think if I want that cigarette.
Yeah.
You know, or if I want a cigarette, it's putting things in front of it. You know, should I go and take my daughter for a walk? Should I bake cookies with her? Should I, you know, just do something more active and a bit more complex? You know, I always like to tell people, go around and rearrange your house or rearrange your bedroom. You know, it helps to give you that time off, but then you start realizing that, oh wow, I can change my house around, I can move this and do that. Things start looking a bit newer in that. Take yourself out and go and do shopping. You're at that moment now where you're almost quit. You've almost reached your target and you've cut down so much. You're starting to reward yourself with little rewards because you start seeing the financial gain of quitting. So start looking at, you know, every week or every second week, how about I reward myself with this? If I cannot have my afternoon cigarette for the next 5 days, I'm going to reward myself with maybe going to buy a new top or getting my nails done, going to get my hair done, just something little that makes you feel happy about yourself. So then when you look back on it, it's, I got this shirt because I went a week without quitting. And I went and got my nails done this fortnight because I went 2 weeks without quitting. So I got a full set of nails. Or, you know, I went and brought myself a new TV because I've been a month now without having that afternoon cigarette. So always make sure you kind of put that incentive in front of it. If I do this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. So I think you'll do it. I think you'll reach your goal by Christmas. You know, if you're starting to feel that in the afternoons that they're getting a bit more intense, start doing the 4Ds that we spoke about previously, you know, with just delaying it first off. Start doing something else to distract yourself. Also doing some deep breathing. It's always good to, you know, take a bit of time, sit down in your bedroom, do a bit of a deep breathing exercise, put a bit of calming music on. And it's also a good time to have a bit of time with your daughter and as well, just to say, we're going to have a bit of relaxation time. Doing it together kind of brings mum and daughter together. It also helps you distract yourself because you're trying to concentrate and get her to concentrate as well. And then when you're finishing that, you know, go and get yourself some water. And, you know, if it starts hitting that craving again, let me try and do this 4Ds again. try and do it a few times until you get into that routine, so you can start changing your routine up.
Yep.
Because that's all you need to start doing, is just changing that little
routine.
habit.
Yeah.
So congratulations on everything. Keep going. So how's everything with you, buddy?
Yeah, been alright. Went alright for like the first 2 months. Yeah, been pretty good. Like cut back heaps. Well, I was smoking like 10, maybe 9 through like my breaks in a day at work. And then I've cut it down to like maybe 3 or 4. So I'll do my work and I'll hit like 10:30. I'll think okay, I have to go out for 1. But then now I'll rather make a cuppa or something, make coffee and do a bit more work, and then I'll look at the time and it's 12:30. I think okay, go get some lunch. Well, I think I had a few slip ups. Yeah, because recently, a couple of weeks ago, my mum had a heart attack, like a slight heart attack. Yeah, so I've got a bit stressed out with that and had a few family things go on and that there.
Yeah.
But everything's like getting maintained now, so it's been pretty good. And I've done it again, cut back heaps.
Yeah.
And went out on the weekend because I've had like a really, really big, like my biggest trouble was with smoking was I've did alright for the week. It's just the social bit, like the weekend.
The weekend,
Yeah.
like, the drinking, the social environments.
Yeah, with the friends and that there.
Yeah.
But on the weekend I went out and had a bit of fresh air with Shenny, and no, it was good.
And you found that having that support from having someone else that's cutting down as well gave you that kind of empowerment to cut down really much.
Yeah, because I sort of lean back on Shenny, like we lean back on each other, help each other to get through each other's journey.
And that's good. It's always good to have a buddy to help. You know, not to be there for support, but they know that what you're going through is what they're going through as well. So having that kind of quit buddy is always the best
so I think
thing to have.
that's why Shenny can relate in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are you finding it now in social environments? Are you?
I think, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it's everyone would be like having their smoke, and I'll just sit there, just buzz and have a yarn.
Yeah.
Or I'll just walk away or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been pretty good. So I've said hopefully I'll be smoke free by Christmas. But I'm still hoping to get it to that goal.
To that. And how many are you smoking a day at the moment?
Probably about 2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
And when are you finding those are your bigger, when are you finding you're smoking those the most?
Probably like mainly once at work, because now I've cut back heaps.
Yeah.
I'll get more into work. But it's just when I'm home, like after work sort of thing.
Yeah.
The family and friends come over and I go to my friend's house, because I hang out with my friends on a daily basis. Yeah, and they're smokers, like cigarettes, and they just smoke.
So you're finding it's more of the habit of being around in the social environment still that's helping. So and that's what it kind of sounds like. It's more of the, it's just the habit of what your friends would be doing. What you would be doing with your friends actually, where your friend, you normally hang out with your friends and have a smoke and a coffee. So that's what I'm going to do now. I've got my coffee. Where's my smoke? So what we want to do is, like I was saying before, is change what you're doing in that time, change what you're doing in that routine, and how you're doing it, because that will stop that craving coming around, and that will stop that kind of your mindset of thinking, okay, I'm having this now, my friends are here, I have to have this cigarette. As well as putting them up as well when you get home, or leaving them at work when you get home. Having that one cigarette at work, and then leaving the rest at work, so when you go home, you're not tempted by that. If you're tempted that friends might socially give you a cigarette, let them know beforehand. It's always good to let your friends and family know that I'm quitting, support me in this. Because the more support you have, the greater outcome you get. People aren't going to want to give you a cigarette because they're like, oh, it's my smoking buddy, let's have a smoke together. It's like, oh, I'm going to have a smoke because you can't, you're quitting, that's cool. And a lot of your family and friends will start encouraging that a bit more. So if more communication that you're having with them as well gives you that more support in the background. So it's just changing that habit that you're having over Christmas.
Because when I started off, like I felt like I was like going up here, and then I've gone like straight back down. But now I feel like I'm moving back up. So I kind of want to stay here once I boost my confidence.
And it's always like I was saying before, is just remember where you came from when you started 4 months ago to where you are now. So you got holidays coming up. So it's starting to make a new routine of what can I do during the holidays to help those little cigarettes that I'm having, those 3 cigarettes a day, what can I do to change that? Now that I'm not having stresses from work, I'm not having my work cigarette in the mornings, I'm, not inundated with all this other stuff when I get home from work that I would have dealt with during the, in the afternoon, and having that social circle with those friends. Maybe let me hang out with my friends earlier in the day. So then when I get to the afternoon, I'm not so tired and stressed and I'm craving a cigarette. If I hang out with them earlier, when I get to the evening, I'm not, I have time to just spend with family and people that aren't smoking. So just starting to change your routine up around will help you with that quitting.
Yeah, I think it would work better that way too, being on the holidays and being around my friends, because a lot of my friends do smoke and a lot of my family members do. Yeah, and like since moving back with my mum, I've got a lot of family members coming in, checking in, and so when they come in, they automatically have to go rather stay outside or at the back. So I think if I just tackle that, I'll be right.
Make sure you have that neutral zone. You have that smoke-free zone of saying to people, if you're going to have a smoke outside, don't smoke inside. Please don't smoke when the doors are open or near the doors, so I can't smell that when it comes in, so it's not triggering anything for me. If you set a firm stance for you in your circle, that gives you that greater outcome, because you're taking control of your quitting process and you're taking control of the environment that you're in. No, you're doing really well on your progress, so keep up the good work, set your routines up and set your goals again, and you'll do a great job over Christmas. So keep up the good work.
Sweet.
So what I'm doing is wanting a smoke, and then I go, okay, I'll do something else. Or I'll, the washing on, or just divert myself. And it's actually working at the moment, so pretty stoked. 2 cigarettes and it's 2:15. I've normally had a few more than 2, so let's see how I go.
It's lunchtime. I went past my smoke break, normally about 10:30. Haven't had one, and I haven't had one since Saturday, so I'm feeling pretty alright. Feeling like going through that breaking point. My stress levels has been up and down, but good. So I'm gonna keep at it and see how I go, and hopefully I won't need one.
The things I'm doing to combat kind of cravings and stuff, I'm using the 4Ds technique, which is delay, drink water, do something else, especially with your hands, and breathe deeply, deep breathe. So I'm trying all that. I'm also using an app called Smiling Mind, which is fantastic. It's kind of like meditation, mindfulness, all that kind of stuff, which is really, really good to be mindful.
So it's been a couple of weeks now since I had my last smoke. Feeling really good about it. I did say that I would be smoke-free by Christmas, and I'm going to stick to that. Hear from me soon. Bye.